Phillips 5 levels of assessment tools and instruments. This is a summary of Phillips assessment tools can be used for 5 levels of evaluation. But not all of his assessment tools are listed here, so please read all of the chapters assigned this week to find out about all the assessment tools available to you. This is just a guideline to help you understand what kinds of assessment tools you can choose for each level of evaluation. This is not a 100% correct answer for your assignments. It is an example of how to select the appropriate assessment tools. You can choose different types of assessment tools for the MEI case and your project. Whatever you choose, you should justify the assessment tools you have selected. One thing I want to point out is that Phillips and Kirkpatrick talk a lot about using a survey tool to measure performance and results levels 3 and 4. This is why their methods are easily criticized by other evaluation scholars. While a survey is a good tool to assess participants' perceptions, feelings, ideas, and opinion about the intervention, those perceptions and opinions can be very subjective. So it is best to use the survey tool to measure level 1, which is a learner's reaction to training or intervention. I do not recommend using the survey tool to measure levels 3 and 4, as survey self-reporting can be subjective. Performance checklist or metrics can be better tools to measure these higher levels of evaluation. Focus group and interview questions are part of a survey tool, but by using qualitative data, you can collect more detailed information about the participants and intervention. So it might be helpful to collect the qualitative data to understand specific circumstances and context within the intervention. To measure level 5 ROI, Phillips asked us to use level 4 data. Why? Because all 4 levels of evaluation have a hierarchical relationships. As Kirkpatrick says, if you like training, you are able to learn. If you learn, you are able to apply what you have learned in the class to the real world. If you are able to perform well, you will increase productivities in the end. So with this hierarchical relationship approach, Phillips says that if you use level 4 results data, you can measure all levels. Data collection plan example. This is an example of how to complete a data collection plan table for your assignments this week. Please don't copy and paste of the data collection plan table in the MEI case. Using the information given in the MEI case, create your own plan. Let's take a look at this example to see how you can create a data collection plan table. On the first column, level, you will see 5 levels of evaluation because an evaluation model for this example uses Phillips ROI model. All the information in the MEI case is based on the Phillips ROI model. So in the first column of the table, you will list 5 levels of evaluation as shown on the slide. On the second column, broad objectives, you will create objectives for each level. The purpose of level 1 evaluation is to assess trainees' satisfaction toward the training, while the purpose of level 2 evaluation is to measure trainees' knowledge. For your example, write the objectives for each level specific to the MEI case and to your project. For example, look at the level 2 objectives for this example case. Participants demonstrate their understanding of the company's orientation, processes, and concepts. Do you see that? they developed specific level 2 objectives for evaluation. Please review this example table to specify each level objective for the MEI case and your project. The third column measures. It requires predetermined scoring criteria to collect quantitative data, as we discussed. Look at the measure of level 1 in the column on the table. The measurement for level 1 is to achieve at least 80% of the participants being satisfied or very satisfied of 4 or 5 using the job aid evaluation survey. Provide specific measures for the MEI case and your project as shown on the table. Don't worry if you cannot find any information about the scoring criteria in the MEI case given. You can create reasonable scoring criteria for the MEI case based on your judgment. This assignment is meant to assess your ability to create a data collection plan in a given situation, rather than asking you to identify the exact information that the case provided on the data collection plan table. So please do not look at the data collection plan table provided in the case. I know you can create a better data collection plan table than the one presented by the MEI case, MEI company. Okay, let's talk about another issue in the measure column. What if I collect qualitative data? What are the measures then? Qualitative data are collected through verbal descriptions or narrations. That means we don't have a scoring criteria. But do you remember Phillips' ROI approach? Phillips said, we need to convert data into monetary value. There are soft data that are very hard to quantify. For example, how can we know to what extent trainees' behaviors have changed after a safety awareness training program? If we cannot quantify this soft data, Phillips asked us to separate this soft data information from hard data and clearly identify them as intangible variables that cannot be quantified. We will talk about this further next week too. But he still emphasizes that we need to quantify soft data if possible to measure ROI. He mentioned you can easily survey the trainees' supervisors to ask about the trainees' behavior changes after training and create scores based on their responses. Of course, he also suggested using other quantitative assessment tools such as performance metrics. But surveying people is easy to do, but may pose a challenge in obtaining objective data. Anyway, to complete this task, you need to measure and create scoring criteria to quantify your data so that you can calculate ROI using numbers. The next column is for data collection method and instrument. What types of assessment tools and instruments do you use? Look at the level 4 or level 3 for data collection method, which involves using a structured observations checklist at the end of the training program. As you can see, the data collected are quantitative. The performance checklist is used to collect quantitative data and can be in a yes or no format or a Likert type grading scale format, as we discussed. Next, the column data sources. Where did you get the data? For level 1 reactions, Plant A manager participants will complete the 5-point rating scale survey questionnaire. For level 2, obtain the data from participants. We learned about data sources in Module 1 when conducting a performance analysis. This is very important to inform your stakeholders of where you obtained all the information. By providing data sources, you will show your stakeholders that your data is credible and reliable and supports your evaluation work. Next column, timing. When do you collect data? Look at the timing for level 1 immediately at the end of the training program. On the other hand, when you look at the timing for level 4, it is 60 to 90 days post-training. Why? To measure business impact or results, it will take time. The last column, responsibilities. Who will complete each level evaluation? Let's look at the responsibilities for level 3. The Learning and Development Manager is responsible for developing a structured observation tool that includes a job aid. The facilitator is responsible for observing the participants' performance and skills levels with the job aid. For your assignments, please specify each responsibility for the evaluation and who's responsible for carrying out each task, who will do what for the evaluation. Look at the bottom of the table, the level 5 return on investment, the red arrow. This section compares the benefits of a program with the total cost of the program. In this example, their ROI target is 25% increase in the benefits of the intervention. But for your assignments, the MEI case, you don't have to do this part because the standard ROI target is not given. If you like to set up the scoring criteria or target for the MEI case, please do so. Also, I'd like to let you know that it may be hard to find all the information you need in the case study to complete your data collection plan for the MEI case. Please assume that you are an evaluator or performance analysis for the MEI case and need to find the best plan to collect data for the MEI company. So don't get too stressed if the information you want is not in the case study. Using the current information given in the MEI case, I believe you can create a good data collection method plan for the company. The purpose of this assignment is to see whether you understand how to create a data collection plan and whether you can provide consistent information across the columns in the table to achieve each level objective for the MEI case and your project.